The rivers of Guyana are ancient veins pulsing through the emerald heart of the rainforest. Their waters, thick with secrets, slip silently beneath tangled canopies shrouded in perpetual mist. Here the river is not merely a body of water. It is a living entity, a spirit that breathes and remembers, its currents carrying the weight of centuries-old mysteries. The air is heavy with the scent of wet earth and decaying leaves, the chorus of unseen creatures echoing through the dense undergrowth. Every ripple, every eddy is a message from the deep, a language older than memory, spoken in the hush of flowing water and the sigh of wind through ancient trees. Beneath the surface, where sunlight fades into a greenish gloom, the legend of the water mama stirs. Her presence is felt in the trembling reeds, in the sudden chill that sweeps across the water, in the way the river seems to whisper your name when dusk falls. The water mama is said to be the river's own spirit, seductive, vengeful, and unfathomably ancient. In the beliefs of the local people, she is the guardian of the river's soul, a being woven from the very essence of water, mud, and mist. Her story is not merely a tale, but a living force, shaping the way the land and water are understood and revered. In the twilight hours, when the world is suspended between day and night, her song is said to rise from the depths, a haunting melody that weaves through the fog, luring all who hear it closer to the water's edge. The air grows heavy, the jungle falls silent, and the river's surface shivers as if something immense stirs below. The water mama's song is not heard with the ears, but felt in the bones, a vibration that resonates with the pulse of the river itself, a call that blurs the boundary between the seen and the unseen. The water mama is more than a myth. She is a force of nature, a guardian and a predator. Some say she can shapeshift, her form flickering between woman and serpent, her eyes glowing like lanterns beneath the water. Others claim she commands the river itself, conjuring whirlpools and sudden storms to protect her domain. In the local cosmology, she is the embodiment of the river's dual nature, nurturing and destructive, beautiful and terrifying. Her moods are reflected in the weather, in the sudden rise of the river, in the way the fog clings to the water long after dawn. The river is her realm, and trespassers are met with eerie omens, strange lights flickering beneath the surface, the echo of laughter where no one stands, the sudden inexplicable stillness that falls before disaster strikes. The water. Mama's wrath is swift and silent, her victims vanishing without a trace, leaving only ripples and silence behind. The river's silence is her warning, a hush that settles over the water like a shroud, broken only by the distant call of a night bird or the soft splash of a fish breaking the surface. Legends say she guards hidden treasures deep within the riverbed, and that those who seek them are doomed to wander the watery labyrinth forever. Her whispers are carried on the wind, promising fortune or doom, her laughter mingling with the rustle of leaves and the rush of the current. The water. Mama's treasures are not gold or jewels, but the secrets of the river itself, forgotten memories, lost time, the eternal dance of life and decay beneath the surface. The water. Mama's legend is woven from the river's own voice, terrifying, beautiful and eternal. She is the embodiment of the unknown, a reminder that the river's depths are not meant to be conquered, but respected and feared. In the beliefs of the people who dwell near these waters, every bend in the river, every patch of swirling mist, is a place where her presence lingers, a sacred threshold between the world of the living and the mysteries that lie beneath. To enter her waters is to step into a world where reality blurs with myth, where every shadow could be her form, every ripple her touch, the water. Mama is the river's secret heart, her legend as deep and unfathomable as the waters she haunts. The river's ever-changing face, its floods and droughts, its sudden storms and tranquil pools are all said to be expressions of her will, reminders that the balance of nature is delicate and easily disturbed. The challenge is not just to survive her domain, but to understand the ancient power that gives rise to such enduring fear: the water. Mama is the river's warning, an eternal whisper that the unknown is never far away, and that some mysteries are meant to remain undisturbed. In the dense silence of the rainforest, her legend is a living presence, a force that shapes the land and the water, a spirit that endures as long as the river flows. In the end, the water mama is both legend and truth, a supernatural sentinel, a living myth, and perhaps a reflection of the river's own wild, untamable soul. Her story is written in the mists that rise at dawn, in the hush that falls at dusk, and in the endless, secretive flow of the water, a reminder that the spirit of the river is always watching, always waiting, and always whispering its ancient song. To truly understand the legend that haunts these waters, you must listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart and imagination. The river speaks in riddles, its secrets woven into the landscape, its warnings whispered through the rustling leaves and the shifting currents. The environment itself becomes the witness, offering silent testimony to the mysteries that unfold along the water's edge. Along the river's edge, clues linger in silence. A canoe, once moored, now drifts aimlessly in the current. Clothes, neatly folded, rest on the bank, untouched by human hands. The water, glassy and undisturbed, hides the violence that has just passed. In the early morning, the riverbank is eerily still, yet the air is thick with the sense of something just out of sight. The only evidence of recent activity is the gentle rocking of a canoe, as if it had been set adrift by an unseen force. The river is a master of disguise. At dawn, a heavy mist clings to the surface, swallowing shapes and muffling sound. Without warning, the water erupts, a swirl, a splash, a disturbance that vanishes as quickly as it appeared. No footprints, no broken reeds, no sign of struggle. Only the echo of something unseen, something powerful, moving just below the surface. Eyewitnesses described the mist as alive, shifting and curling in unnatural patterns, sometimes parting to reveal a sudden, violent swirl that leaves the water trembling long after the disturbance has faded. The phenomenon is not confined to the river alone. In the stillness of a remote lake, the surface suddenly shatters, water jets skyward as if propelled by an invisible force. A massive wake cuts through the water, carving a path that defies explanation, then disappears into the tangled green of the jungle. Observers have reported seeing the water bulge and ripple, as if something immense was moving just beneath, leaving behind a trail of bubbles and a lingering sense of unease. The river's depths conceal more than just silt and stone. Shadows drift beneath the surface, shapes that flicker and vanish when you try to focus. Ripples spread across the water, unprovoked by wind or falling branch, as if the river itself is breathing, restless and alive. Some have watched as the water's surface quivers, the light bending and warping over the outline of something vast, only for it to disappear the moment attention is fixed upon it. The clues are subtle but chilling. Toys left behind, half buried in the mud, as if their owners vanished mid-play. Animals, usually bold, hesitate at the water's edge, their instincts warning them of danger. A heron, startled, takes flight as the water beneath it churns for no apparent reason. Eyewitnesses have seen capybaras freeze mid-step, their ears twitching, before bolting from the riverbank as if pursued by an invisible predator. Birds, too, will suddenly fall silent, the jungle's chorus cut short by a ripple of fear that passes through the undergrowth. Sometimes a dark shape glides beneath the surface, too large and swift to be a fish. The roots and vines that dip into the river sway as if brushed by something immense. The water swirls, then settles, leaving only questions in its wake. Fish scatter in all directions, their silver bodies flashing in the murk, while caimans slip beneath the surface, vanishing into the gloom as if seeking refuge from a greater threat. The environment itself conspires to keep its secrets. Dense rainforest crowds the banks, shadows lengthen at dusk, and fog rolls in to erase the boundaries between water and land. The river's moods shift without warning, and with each change, the sense of an unseen presence grows stronger. Even the wind seems to hush, the leaves stilled as if the entire forest is holding its breath, waiting for something to emerge from the depths. At night, the river becomes a different world. Fires burn low on the banks, their light flickering across the water. Empty hammocks sway in the breeze, and the only sound is the gentle lapping of water against the shore. Yet beneath the surface, something stirs, silent, patient, waiting. Nocturnal animals, usually active, are seen huddled in the shadows, their eyes wide and alert, refusing to approach the water's edge. The moonlight reveals only the faintest ripple, a suggestion of movement that vanishes when watched too closely. The river offers no answers, only more mysteries. Plants tremble as if brushed by an unseen hand. Bubbles rise, marking the passage of something vast and hidden. The outline of a massive form drifts through the murk, then fades into darkness. Frogs fall silent, their croaks replaced by the soft hiss of bubbles breaking the surface, and the water lilies part as if something immense has just passed beneath. Each environmental clue, each unexplained event, adds to the legend. The river swallows not just bodies, but all hope of certainty. Its secrets are guarded by fog, by shadow, by the ever-present sense that something is watching, just out of sight. The water's surface sometimes reflects not the sky, but a shifting darkness, as if the river itself is remembering what it has hidden. The question remains, echoing through the forest and across the water. What real force could inspire such terror and remain so perfectly hidden? The search for answers leads ever deeper into the heart of Guyana, where the river's mysteries wait to be unveiled. The jungle and river together bear silent witness, their every movement and stillness a testament to the presence of something unseen, something that shapes the very soul of this wild, untamed land. The water mama legend is a tapestry woven from the threads of history, environment, and belief, echoing across continents and centuries. Its origins are deeply embedded in the reverence for water that has shaped countless cultures, where rivers are not merely physical features but living entities, sources of life, mystery, and power. In West African folklore, rivers and lakes were seen as sacred, mysterious realms governed by powerful, unseen forces. Water spirits, often depicted as guardians or tempters, were believed to inhabit these waters, shaping the rhythms of the land and the fate of all who dwelled nearby. These beliefs reflected a profound respect for the ecological richness and unpredictability of the waterways. The natural world itself played a central role in shaping the legend. Rivers teemed with life and danger, razor-toothed piranhas, lurking caimans, and the silent threat of electric eels. The unpredictable waters inspired awe and caution, giving rise to stories that explained the river's power and peril, and the unseen forces that might dwell beneath the surface. As these traditions crossed the Atlantic, they encountered new landscapes, vast winding rivers shrouded in mist, their depths concealing unknown hazards. The myth evolved, adapting to the unique rhythms and dangers of South American waterways, where the environment itself seemed to breathe with ancient secrets. In these new environments, the legend became a vessel for understanding the unpredictable and sometimes deadly nature of the rivers. The myth provided a framework for interpreting the landscape's mysteries, why the waters could turn violent, why the depths remained unknowable, and what ancient forces might govern the river's moods. Over time, the water mama legend transformed, shaped by the interplay of environment and imagination. It became a living myth, rooted in the ever-changing relationship between the land and the powerful, enigmatic rivers that define their world. The legend endures, a reflection of the deep connection between culture, ecology, and the enduring mysteries of water. With the attack's pattern clear, I turn to the river's predators. The Amazon is home to some of the most formidable creatures on the planet, and each one has its own reputation for danger. But to solve this mystery, I needed to look at every possibility with a critical eye, including not just animals, but the river itself. The red-tailed catfish, powerful and massive, could drown a person, but it's a bottom dweller, rarely seen at the surface, not matching the legend's explosive attacks. Its size and strength are impressive, but its behavior simply doesn't fit the sudden, violent disappearances described by witnesses. Catfish are more likely to scavenge than to ambush, and their movements are slow and deliberate, not sudden or violent. The black caiman, a giant crocodilian, is a master ambusher, but its attacks are violent and messy. No evidence matched the clean disappearances. If a caiman had been responsible, there would have been signs, blood, torn clothing, or remains. But here there was nothing. Caimans also tend to drag their prey to the shore, leaving a trail of chaos, not the eerie silence that followed these attacks. Piranhas, though infamous, are scavengers, not primary killers. They explain why bodies vanish, not how the attacks begin. Their feeding frenzies are terrifying, but they're rarely the instigators of an attack on a healthy adult. Piranhas are more likely to feed on already injured or dead animals, and their presence is often a symptom, not a cause. Each suspect fell short of the legend's details. None could account for the sudden explosive force or the eerie silence that followed each attack. Even the electric eel, capable of delivering a powerful shock, is unlikely to cause a person to vanish without a trace. Its attacks are defensive, not predatory, and rarely fatal to humans. The real culprit had to be something different. Large, powerful, pale, and capable of erupting from the water. It had to be a creature that could strike without warning, then vanish just as quickly. But what if the answer wasn't a creature at all? The search narrowed to a creature that fit both the myth and the eyewitness accounts. Locals spoke of a ghostly presence, something rarely seen but never forgotten. But the river itself is full of mysteries, hidden whirlpools, sudden currents, and underwater caves that can swallow a person in seconds. The answer was lurking just beneath the surface, waiting to be revealed. Every ripple, every unexplained splash hinted at a secret the river was keeping. Sudden drop-offs, hidden sinkholes, and powerful undertows can pull even the strongest swimmer under, leaving no trace. The river's true monster was still out there. Its identity remained a mystery, but its presence was undeniable. Sometimes the river itself is the predator, its hidden dangers as deadly as any animal. I needed to look beyond the obvious. The usual suspects had been ruled out, but the legend demanded answers. Could the water mama be a personification of the river's unpredictable power? Its ability to take life without warning, in ways that defy easy explanation? The legend demanded a new suspect, something extraordinary, something that defied conventional explanation. Perhaps the water mama is not a single creature, but the sum of all the river's dangers, animal, environmental, and unknown. My focus shifted to the extraordinary. The hunt for the river's true monster was just beginning. In the Amazon, the line between myth and reality is as murky as the water itself, and sometimes the greatest mysteries are those that nature keeps hidden. Enter the Arapaima, one of the world's largest freshwater fish and a true marvel of the Amazon. This ancient giant is a living relic from the Jurassic era, its lineage stretching back over 100 million years. The Arapaima can grow to more than 10 feet in length and tip the scales at over 400 pounds. Its armoured scales, thick and overlapping, provide protection from predators and give it a distinctly prehistoric appearance. The biology of the Arapaima is as fascinating as its size. Its body is covered in tough, mineralized scales that act as natural armor, making it nearly impervious to attacks from piranhas and other predators. These scales are not only thick but also flexible, allowing the fish to move with surprising agility for its size. The Arapaima's head is broad and flat, with a powerful jaw lined with small, sharp teeth. perfect for seizing prey. Unlike most fish, the Arapaima must surface for air every 15 to 20 minutes, thanks to a primitive lung-like organ called a modified swim bladder. This adaptation allows it to thrive in oxygen-poor waters where other fish might struggle. Each time it breaks the surface, it creates a dramatic eruption in the water, an explosive splash that echoes through the rainforest. Its pale, silvery underside and powerful muscular tail match the descriptions found in local legends of the water mama. The Arapaima is known for its sudden bursts of speed and strength. When startled or threatened, it can leap clear of the water, its massive body crashing back down with tremendous force. Its tail, thick and strong, can deliver blows powerful enough to stun or even kill other aquatic creatures. This agility and power make it a formidable predator in its environment. As an apex predator, the Arapaima plays a crucial role in maintaining the balance of its ecosystem. It feeds on a variety of fish, crustaceans, and even small land animals that fall into the water. By controlling populations of smaller fish, it helps prevent any one species from dominating the river, ensuring a healthy and diverse aquatic community. These giants inhabit the slow-moving rivers, oxbow lakes, and flooded forests of the Amazon basin. They are most often seen near the surface, gliding just below the waterline or breaking through to gulp air, their presence marked by ripples and sudden splashes. During the rainy season, Arapaimas venture into flooded forests, taking advantage of the expanded habitat to hunt and spawn. The Arapaima's life cycle is closely tied to the rhythms of the river. During the wet season, they build nests in the soft mud and fiercely guard their eggs and young. This parental care increases the chances of survival for the next generation, ensuring the continued presence of these ancient giants in the Amazon's waters. With their immense size, mysterious habits, and dramatic appearances, Arapaimas have inspired awe and fear for generations. Their ghostly forms gliding beneath the surface, their sudden eruptions of power, and their ancient armored bodies all feed into the legend of the water mama. All clues point to this prehistoric giant as the real animal behind the myth. But what drives its behavior, and could it truly be the source of such enduring stories? The answer lies in understanding the Arapaima's world. Arapaima are not man-eaters. They're fiercely protective parents, driven by instincts honed over millennia of survival in the Amazon's unforgiving waters. During breeding season, males guard their nests with intense aggression, attacking any creature that threatens their eggs, be it rival fish, opportunistic predators, or even curious animals drawn to the shallows. The Amazon is a battleground teeming with predators like caiman, otters, and other fish, all seeking an easy meal. The Arapaima's violent defense is a direct response to this constant threat. Their nests, cleared craters in the riverbed, are vulnerable targets. The Arapaima's only hope is to meet aggression with aggression, driving away intruders with sheer force. These attacks are not acts of predation, but desperate measures to ensure the survival of the next generation, the water. Mama's deadly reputation is rooted in these ecological dynamics, a parent's instinct to protect, magnified by the dangers of the wild. In the swirling mists and shadowy waters, such fierce encounters became legend, transforming natural defense into mythic menace. The real monster was not a creature of malice, but a guardian shaped by the relentless struggle for survival. In the end, the river itself conceals the truth, washing away all traces, leaving only stories of the water mama's wrath born from the primal laws of nature. The river's dynamics play a crucial role in shaping the behavior of its inhabitants. The constant flow and changing currents create an environment where only the most adaptable and aggressive can thrive. Fish like the Arapaima have evolved to navigate these treacherous waters, developing powerful muscles and streamlined bodies to withstand the river's force. Their physiology is a testament to the harsh conditions they endure. Gills that efficiently extract oxygen from water, scales that protect against abrasions, and a keen sense of their surroundings all contribute to their survival. Aggression is not just a response to threats, but a necessary adaptation. Quick, decisive actions can mean the difference between life and death in the river's unforgiving ecosystem. The dense vegetation along the riverbanks provides both refuge and danger. It's a place where predators can hide and prey must always be on alert. In this shadowy world, the line between hunter and hunted is thin. Every creature must be vigilant, ready to defend or flee at a moment's notice. As day turns to night, the river transforms. The fading light brings a sense of calm, yet the underlying tension remains. The struggle for survival never truly ends. Under the cover of darkness, new challenges arise. Nocturnal predators emerge, and the cycle of life and death continues, driven by the same primal forces that have shaped the river's inhabitants for eons. The river, in its endless flow, is both a giver and taker of life. It shapes the destinies of all who dwell within its reach, a silent witness to the eternal dance of survival. The Arapaima's attack reveals the river's raw power, but the story runs deeper. Beneath the surface, a web of silent accomplices thrives. Some are seen, many are not. The river is alive with creatures whose presence is felt only in fleeting shadows and sudden ripples. Predators and scavengers, piranhas, catfish, electric eels, caimans and vultures, each play a role in the river's relentless cycle. But there are others. Stingrays hidden in the silt, glass shrimp cleaning the bones, and otters hunting in the twilight. When opportunity arises, these creatures swiftly erase all evidence, consuming and recycling every fragment. Insects, snails, and leeches work in silence, breaking down what remains, leaving nothing but memory in the current. Even the plants are accomplices. Thick aquatic vegetation conceals, entangles, and shelters, making the river a labyrinth of hiding places. Roots and vines form secret passageways, while floating mats drift, hiding what lies beneath. Environmental hazards, fog, shifting currents, sudden whirlpools add to the river's arsenal, masking secrets in silence and mist. Eddies and hidden depths become traps for the unwary, their dangers unseen. The river's ecosystem is ruthlessly efficient. Nothing goes to waste and nothing is left behind. Every crevice, every shadow is home to something waiting, watching, feeding. In this world, biology and legend intertwine. Each silent accomplice, seen and unseen, deepening the water, Mama's terrifying reputation. The river keeps its secrets well, guarded by creatures both known and unknown, forever hidden in the depths. The river was silent, but the clues were woven into every inch of the wild. Twisted reeds and fresh gouges in the muddy banks told of a powerful presence moving unseen. Swirling currents beneath the tangled vines hinted at something massive lurking just below the surface. Each dawn the riverbank revealed new evidence. Waterbirds burst from the reeds in sudden alarm, their wings beating frantically as fish scattered in the shallows. Otter tracks crisscrossed the wet sand, and half-eaten fish lay abandoned on logs, signs of a predator that ruled these waters. The jungle itself whispered secrets. Dense mist rolled over hidden oxbow lakes, and mysterious eddies spun in the current. Floating scales caught the sunlight, while bubbles rose from the depths, marking the passage of something immense and unseen. The search for the legendary creature was a study in patience and observation. Lily pads trembled as something moved beneath them. Dragonflies scattered in a flurry, and water plants parted in the wake of a shadow gliding just out of sight. Storms swept across the river, thunder rumbling and rain pattering on broad leaves. Water dripped from mossy branches, and the reflection of storm clouds danced on the surface. The world felt charged, as if the very air was alive with anticipation. Then a sign, an enormous tailprint pressed deep into the soft mud, water still swirling from a recent dive. The jungle fell silent, every animal frozen, sensing the presence of something extraordinary. As dusk settled, eyes glinted just above the water, and a colossal shadow moved beneath the surface. Scales broke the water in the golden light, sending ripples across the river. Suddenly the water exploded in a surge of power. A giant fish breached, spray catching the last light of day, and shimmering scales slipped away, leaving only ripples behind. Night fell, and the river returned to stillness. Moonlight reflected on calm water. Mysterious patterns marked the mud, and the silent jungle watched under the stars. The evidence lingered. Massive scales glinting in the moonlight, water swirling around an unseen giant. The legend was real, its presence written in every shadow, every ripple, and every sign left behind by the wild. In the swirling mud, the water mummer emerges, a colossal Arapaima, armoured in ancient scales, gliding silently through the murk. Here in the river's shadowy depths, myth and reality are not opposites, but partners in a delicate dance. The Arapaima's presence is both a revelation and a riddle, a living echo of stories whispered by the river's currents, shaped by the interplay of fear, wonder, and the unknown. The pale shimmer of its scales, the sudden surge of its strength, and the fierce defence of its territory, these are the seeds from which legends grow. Each movement beneath the surface is a fragment of a larger story, shaped by the river's hidden drama and the relentless struggle for survival. Beneath the surface, scavengers erase the traces of struggle, transforming the river's secrets into enduring mysteries. What is lost to the depths becomes the foundation of myth, as the river's cycles of life and death are hidden from view, leaving only ripples and shadows to hint at the truth. The water. Mama is not a phantom, but a guardian, unyielding, vigilant, and bound to the rhythms of the wild. Its existence is a testament to the river's power, a living force that shapes the ecosystem and commands respect from all who dwell within its waters. The language of science seeks to uncover the natural wonders that inspire awe, revealing the extraordinary within the ordinary. Yet, even as facts are revealed, the river's mysteries deepen, for every answer uncovers new questions, and every discovery adds another layer to the legend. The river's mystery endures, not as mere superstition, but as a testament to the power and unpredictability of nature, a lesson written in water and shadow. Here, myth is not a falsehood, but a reflection of the river's complexity, a way to understand what cannot be seen or easily explained. To unmask the mermaid is to glimpse the delicate boundary between myth and reality, where the river's creatures become legends, and legends become part of the river's eternal story. In this ecosystem, every ripple, every shadow, and every silent movement is a thread in the tapestry of myth. In the heart of Guyana's rivers, the water mummer glides on, real, formidable, and forever woven into the endless mystery of the wild. Here, myth and reality are inseparable, each giving meaning to the other in the ever-changing world beneath the water's surface. Beneath the river's ever-changing surface, ancient guardians have shaped the stories of the wild for centuries. The Arapaima, a colossal fish revered in local lore, is not alone. In the shadows, armored catfish glide along the riverbed, their movements silent but purposeful, embodying resilience and strength. Electric eels weave through submerged roots, sending invisible currents pulsing through the water. Reminders of forces beyond human senses, often seen as the river's mystical protectors. Each creature plays a role in the river's mythic tapestry, their presence woven into the fabric of ancient tales. The sudden flash of a caiman's eyes, a symbol of vigilance and stealth, the ripple of a giant river otter's passage, representing playfulness and agility, the silent swirl as a stingray vanishes in silt. These are the moments that spark wonder and fear, embodying the river's enigmatic nature. The river itself, with its swirling eddies and hidden currents, becomes a living presence, shaping legends with every flood and drought. Environmental phenomena, mist rolling over dawn-lit waters, the chorus of unseen insects at dusk, the surge of the current after a storm, transform ordinary nights into the realm of the extraordinary. Here the line between the real and the mythical blurs, and every shadow holds a story. In this world, the guardians are not monsters, but essential threads in the river's fabric. Their behaviors, protective, elusive, sometimes fierce, are echoes of the primal forces that have ruled these waters long before tales were told. The river's ancient guardians endure, shaping the mystery, the legend, and the life of the wild, unseen but ever present in the pulse of the water. These guardians are also keepers of history, their habitats intertwined with ancient human civilizations, their significance etched in stone and story. As the river flows, it carries with it the whispers of the past, the guardian's legacy, and the promise of the future, a testament to the enduring power of nature's ancient protectors. Beneath the surface, the river conceals a world of wonders and enigmas where light struggles to penetrate and shadows dance across the silty floor. Here the water is thick with secrets, and every current carries a story untold. In the darkness, a symphony of sounds unfolds, a chorus of clicks, pulses, and vibrations. Each note is a signal, a message, or a warning reverberating through the liquid expanse. Armored catfish rasp their bodies against ancient stones, scraping away algae and sending faint signals through the current. Their armored plates shimmer in the dim light, blending with the pebbled riverbed as they move in slow, deliberate patterns. Electric eels emit silent bursts of energy, their discharges echoing through the water like invisible Morse code. These pulses ripple outward, mapping the world in electric fields, revealing hidden prey and obstacles in the gloom. Giant river otters glide between submerged logs, their sleek forms disturbing clouds of silt that swirl and settle in their wake. The silt rises in ghostly plumes, momentarily obscuring the labyrinth of roots and branches below. Yet not all sounds and movements are easily explained. In the murky depths, shadows shift and merge, hinting at presences unseen and stories untold. Sometimes deep in the night, the river hums with low, resonant tones that seem to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. These vibrations travel through water and stone, stirring the silt and awakening ancient echoes. Water thrums against hidden caverns, creating notes that vibrate through the bones of the earth. In these submerged chambers, currents swirl and collide, sculpting new passageways and resonating with the pulse of the river itself. Unseen shapes dart and spiral just beyond the reach of light, their movements leaving only ripples and the faintest hints of motion. Some are swift and elusive, vanishing into the gloom before their forms can be discerned. These echoes, both natural and unaccounted for, blend together, weaving an audio tapestry as complex as any legend. The river's denizens communicate in a language of movement and vibration, their signals overlapping in a ceaseless underwater dialogue. Fish communicate in frequencies beyond human hearing, while the shifting current amplifies and distorts every movement. Schools of fish twist and turn in unison, their bodies shimmering as the current bends their path. The river's own heartbeat pulses through every channel and tributary, a reminder that life teems beneath even the stillest surface. Each tributary brings new nutrients, new mysteries, and new voices to the underwater chorus. In these depths, the boundary between the known and the mysterious is drawn in sound and shadow. Light flickers and fades, leaving only the shifting interplay of darkness and the unknown. The river's story continues, told not in words but in the endless, enigmatic echoes beneath the surface. Here, every bubble, every ripple, and every shadow is a chapter in the ongoing mystery of the deep. The river speaks in a language older than memory, a silent, ceaseless conversation woven from the breath of water and the pulse of earth. Its voice is not heard but felt, a symphony of movement, a tapestry of sound and rhythm that shapes the world it touches. Each eddy is a whisper, curling secrets into the current. Each ripple is a syllable, a fleeting word written in silver and light, vanishing as quickly as it forms. When the rains descend, the river swells with a deep-throated roar. its voice rising in thunderous proclamation. Waves tumble and crash, sending urgent messages downstream, warnings, invitations, and the promise of change. In the hush of the dry season, the river narrows and slows, its surface a mirror of patience. The glassy water holds its breath, reflecting the sky's moods, signaling a time of waiting, of quiet endurance. Beneath the surface, currents weave invisible threads, guiding fish in silent procession, coaxing plants to sway in ancient rhythm. The river's undercurrent hums with secrets, a song only the water knows. Tides rise and fall with the moon's gentle pull, drawing invisible boundaries between day and night, between the hush of safety and the thrill of risk. The river's rhythm is a heartbeat, pulsing in time with celestial cycles. Sandbanks drift and reshape, channels deepen in the night, and sunken logs become silent sentinels, markers in the river's ever-changing script. The river's language is written in the dance of floating leaves, the swirling calligraphy of silt, the way light bends and scatters across the water's skin. It is the gentle tug of water against stone, the soft percussion of current over pebbles, a lullaby that soothes and shapes the riverbed. Even the smallest stirrings, crabs retreating beneath stones before a storm, are woven into the river's silent lexicon, a prelude to the coming rain. The chorus of frogs rising in anticipation is a verse in the river's song, echoing the promise of renewal. Every shift in current, every subtle change in flow is a message sent and received, a living code, endlessly rewritten. Legends are born from the river's unpredictable surges, from the sudden hush that falls like a held breath, from the wild, unexplainable moments when the water seems to pause and ponder. Whirlpools spiral into existence, mysterious and fleeting, their purpose known only to the river itself. In the absence of words, the river's language is a living poem, movement, sound, and silent signals woven into an ancient code that endures beyond memory. As twilight falls and mist drifts across the water, the river's voice lingers, a song of awe and mystery echoing through the endless flow of time. Beneath the river's shimmering surface, danger often lurks unseen. The river is a living tapestry, its currents concealing a host of formidable predators, each playing a vital role in the ecosystem. In the murky depths, a silent world unfolds, a realm ruled by predators perfectly adapted to their shadowy domain. Here, survival depends on stealth, patience, and the ability to sense the faintest movement in the water. Giant catfish, with their whiskered faces and powerful bodies, glide near the bottom, waiting for the vibrations of an unsuspecting meal. These bottom dwellers are opportunistic feeders, consuming fish, crustaceans, and even small mammals that venture too close. Electric eels slither through submerged roots, their bodies charged with enough electricity to stun prey, or a careless intruder. They use bursts of electricity not only to hunt but also to navigate and communicate in the dark waters. In the tangled mass of underwater vegetation, caimans lie motionless, their eyes just above the waterline, patient and unblinking. These ambush predators rely on camouflage and sudden bursts of speed to capture fish, birds, and other river creatures. Schools of piranha, small but fierce, move as one, their razor-sharp teeth ready to strip flesh in seconds. Despite their fearsome reputation, piranhas are also scavengers, helping to keep the river clean by consuming dead or dying animals. Even the stealthy Arapaima, massive and ancient, can ambush smaller creatures with a sudden explosive strike. As one of the largest freshwater fish, the Arapaima is both predator and prey, maintaining balance in the river's food web. Each of these predators has evolved to thrive in the river's ever-changing environment, using camouflage, speed, and cunning to survive. Their behaviors, whether stalking, ambushing, or scavenging, shape the delicate balance of life beneath the surface. Predators regulate populations of other species, preventing any one group from overwhelming the ecosystem. Their presence ensures diversity, as prey species adapt and evolve new strategies to avoid becoming a meal. When predators feed, they leave behind remains that nourish scavengers and decomposers, fueling the river's nutrient cycle and supporting countless forms of life. Their presence has fueled countless tales. Stories of mysterious disappearances, sudden attacks, and unexplained ripples on moonlit nights. But beyond the legends, these hunters are essential to the river's health and vitality. It's easy to see how these real-life hunters could be woven into the myth of the water mama, their habits and shadows merging with legend in the minds of those who call the river home. In this world of swirling currents and shifting sands, the line between myth and nature blurs, and every shadow might hide a story waiting to be told. As the sun dips below the emerald canopy, the river surrenders to the coming night, and a world unseen by daylight awakens. The water's surface, once golden, now shimmers with the last hints of twilight, signaling a profound transformation. Nightfall cloaks the river in velvet darkness, and the world above grows hushed, while hidden life stirs below. Beneath the stillness, the riverbed becomes a stage for secret dramas. Catfish emerge from their muddy shelters, whiskers twitching as they hunt in the murk. Fireflies blink along the banks, their greenish glow casting fleeting patterns on the rippling surface. Their lights flicker in silent conversation, mirrored by the water and echoed by the calls of distant creatures. Deep in the shadows, nocturnal eyes open, caimans slip silently from mud to water, their movements barely disturbing the glassy calm. The caiman's ancient forms glide beneath the surface, invisible but for the occasional glint of an eye. Overhead, bats flit in erratic patterns, skimming the river for insects with flawless precision. Their wings slice the humid air, each swoop a calculated strike in the endless hunt. In the reeds, a chorus of frogs erupts, their calls echoing through the thick damp air. The sound weaves a tapestry of rhythm, masking the subtle splashes of fish and the rustle of unseen creatures. Silvery fish leap at moonbeams, chased by unseen hunters in the gloom, each splash a fleeting mystery. Predators lurk in the depths, their presence betrayed only by sudden ripples and the darting shadows of prey. The electric eel, more active now, navigates the blackness with pulses that reveal both prey and lurking rivals. Mist rises from the water, weaving ghostly shapes that drift with the current, shrouding the river in mystery. The fog curls around fallen branches and tangled roots, hiding the movements of creatures below. Occasionally a strange ripple shivers across the surface, cause unknown, the effect unsettling. Sometimes the water stirs with no visible source, as if the river itself breathes. Even the trees seem to lean closer, their tangled roots reaching out as if to touch the passing darkness. Roots dip into the water, providing shelter for small fish and hunting grounds for prowling snakes. The river becomes a realm ruled by the senses of its wild inhabitants, sight, sound, and vibration guiding every move. Every sound, every shadow holds a secret. The rustle of wings, the plop of a turtle, the whisper of scales against stone, each a clue to the hidden life of the night. Here nature's mysteries deepen, and the boundary between the ordinary and the otherworldly grows thin. Phantom shapes and strange calls blurring the line between reality and legend. The night is alive with stories only the river can tell. Tales written in ripples, shadows, and the silent passage of wild things beneath the moonlit surface. Beneath the shimmering moonlit surface, the river's eternal cycle of life and death quietly unfolds. Every creature, every plant is bound together in a delicate, ever-turning web. In the shelter of the reeds, tiny insects emerge from their eggs, taking their first breaths in the humid air. These fragile lives are soon swept into the current, where agile fish lie in wait, hunting with lightning speed. The fish themselves are never safe, for stealthy caimans glide beneath the surface, ready to strike. River otters, playful yet fierce, and the massive Arapaima, silent and powerful, join the hunt, each playing their part in this ancient drama. As the sun rises, new life stirs along the banks, plants push through the soil, reaching for the light. Overhead, leaves drift gently from the canopy, their journey just beginning as they spiral down to the water. Sinking slowly, They settle on the riverbed where their transformation begins. Here, unseen worlds awaken. Bacteria and tiny invertebrates feed on the decaying leaves, breaking them down into nutrients. These microscopic creatures become food for small fish and larvae, their energy flowing upward through the food chain. Even the greatest hunters, giant fish, lurking caimans, are part of this cycle, their lives sustained by the river's bounty. When their time comes, their bodies return to the water, becoming nourishment for scavengers and decomposers. Scavenger fish pick the bones clean, while decaying matter enriches the soil along the banks. From this fertile ground, new plants rise, their roots drawing sustenance from the river's endless gifts. The river flows on, its cycle unbroken, life, death, and renewal repeating in a seamless loop. Even fallen logs and decaying plants are transformed, feeding fungi and countless organisms that thrive in the shadows. With each sunrise, new life emerges. Frog spawn clings to reeds, seedlings break through the mud, and the chorus of the wild begins anew. In the shifting shadows, every creature plays its part, each life a fleeting note in the river's endless song. Schools of fish swirl in the current, birds swoop to feed, and plants sway with the flow, each moment a testament to the river's vitality. This is the river's legacy, a living, breathing cycle where every ending is a new beginning and every life, no matter how small, is part of the whole. In the heart of the river an ancient spirit stirs, an unseen presence woven into every ripple, every whispering current, as if the water itself breathes with memory and myth. The river is not merely a channel of water, but a living entity, a sacred force that pulses with the energy of creation and the wisdom of ages. Here, the water is a vessel of stories, carrying the echoes of ancient rains and the secrets of the earth's deep heart. It is the breath of the forest, the silent pact that binds every creature, every root, every stone in a tapestry of life and legend. The caiman glides like a shadow, its eyes aglow with the wisdom of primordial times, a silent guardian of mysteries buried in silt and root. In the mythic undercurrents, it is said the caiman is a sentinel, watching over the threshold between worlds. The Arapaima, colossal and serene, rises from the depths with a grace that stirs the water's memory. In legend, it is the spirit of endurance, a living echo of the river's ancient strength, its scales shimmering with the light of forgotten dawns. Above, kingfishers dart in bursts of blue and gold, their flight a fleeting prayer to the dawn. Their wings are said to carry the wishes of the river, each beat a blessing cast upon the morning mist. In the shallows, otters weave playful circles, their laughter mingling with the river's gentle song. In the lore of the wild, their joy is a celebration of existence, a dance that honors the spirit of the waters. Even the smallest beetle, tracing spirals on a floating leaf, is part of the river's sacred design. Each life, no matter how small, is a note in the symphony of the wild, a thread in the river's endless story. The river's currents are the language of the earth, carrying messages from root to reed, from stone to sky. In the deep, the water hums with ancient songs, a chorus of spirits that have flowed since the world was young. Storms sweep across the river, their thunderous voices awakening the spirits sleeping in the mud. Rain falls like a blessing, each drop a renewal, a promise that life will always return, no matter how fierce the tempest. At night, the moon glides across the surface, a silver guardian guiding nocturnal creatures through the darkness. Its reflection is a portal to the spirit world, a beacon for those who dwell in the shadows and silence. Every animal, every flutter and splash is an emblem of the river's power and grace. Together, they form a living myth, a testament to the spirit that animates the waters. The jaguar's silent prowl, the heron's patient watch, the butterfly's delicate dance, all are woven into the spirit of the waters. In myth, these creatures are messengers, their movements guided by the will of the river spirit. In this sacred realm, existence is a ritual, and every breath, every heartbeat is an offering to the eternal flow. The river is the altar, the mist its incense, the dawn its hymn. The river endures, timeless and unyielding, its spirit carried in the wings of birds, the scales of fish, the shadows beneath ancient trees. It is the keeper of legends, the silent witness to the birth and rebirth of the wild. It is the soul of the wild, forever whispering its mysteries to those who listen. In the hush of dusk, the river's voice echoes the promise of life without end, a song of spirit, myth, and the eternal dance of water and world. Beneath the shimmering surface and along the restless banks, the river's true architects flourish, its verdant, silent sentinels. Here tangled roots of ancient trees grip the muddy banks, their gnarled fingers weaving a lattice that holds the earth in place, defying the river's ceaseless hunger. Towering above, the canopies of giant kiba and kapok trees form a living cathedral, their leaves filtering sunlight into emerald mosaics that dance on the water below. Lianas and vines drape down in graceful arcs, their tendrils dipping into the current. Bridges for insects and passageways for frogs venturing between worlds. In the shallows, thick mats of water hyacinth and floating ferns drift with the current, islands of life supporting beetles, snails, and the eggs of unseen amphibians. Beneath the surface, aquatic grasses and waving ribbons of submerged plants cradle fish fry, offering shelter from the ever-watchful predators that glide above. Each leaf, each stem is a hidden world. Tiny crustaceans graze on algae, while dragonfly larvae lurk in the shadows, silent hunters in a miniature jungle. The river's plant life is more than mere scenery, it is the breath and heartbeat of the ecosystem. Roots filter the water, trapping silt and nourishing the soil with ancient minerals, while fallen leaves decompose in the current, feeding invisible armies of bacteria that transform decay into new life. Blooms of water lilies unfurl at dawn, their petals opening to the chorus of insects and birds, while beneath, their stems anchor the riverbed, keeping the currents in balance. Epiphytes cling to every available branch, drinking from the mist and rain, their flowers a riot of colour that draws pollinators from afar. Mosses and liverworts carpet the stones, softening the river's relentless erosion, their tiny fronds absorbing the songs of rain and river alike. In every crevice, in every pool, plants work unseen, sustaining the web of life that animates the water's edge. The river's green architects are both guardians and creators, shaping habitats, nurturing generations, and weaving resilience into the very fabric of the wild. Without their silent labour, the river's chorus would falter, its stories fade. But with every new shoot, every unfurling frond, the promise of life endures, rooted in the river's ancient memory, blossoming in the eternal flow. Beneath the rippling surface, too small for any eye to see, thrives a world as intricate as any jungle or forest, the realm of the river's microscopic life. Here plankton, both plant and animal, drift on unseen currents, their bodies illuminated by shafts of filtered light. Phytoplankton, the river's floating green cells, harness sunlight to conjure energy, breathing oxygen into the water with every pulse of photosynthesis. Alongside them, zooplankton, tiny translucent grazers, glide and dart, feeding on their plant cousins and each other, forming the first links in the river's food chain. Between grains of silt and among the stems of submerged plants, bacteria orchestrate silent alchemy. These invisible chemists break down organic matter, recycling nutrients that would otherwise be lost to decay. Their work transforms fallen leaves into sustenance for all, binding the river's cycles of growth and renewal. Protozoa, single-celled predators, stalk their prey with cilia and flagella, hunting in a drop of water as fiercely as any jaguar in the forest above. Algae in countless shapes and shades cling to rocks and drift in clouds, their blooms painting the water with bursts of green and gold. Diatoms, armoured with glassy shells, float in geometric perfection, filtering sunlight into food for countless others. In the shadows, fungi and archaea thrive, breaking down what even bacteria cannot, ensuring nothing is wasted. Together, these microscopic engineers shape the river's heartbeat. Their abundance feeds the smallest fish, whose lives in turn sustain the larger hunters. Their oxygen breathes life into every gill, every submerged root, every flicker of scale. Without them, the river's waters would stagnate and starve, its story cut short before it could begin. In every drop, a universe unfolds, teeming, dynamic, endlessly complex. The river's invisible engineers work ceaselessly, weaving together the threads of existence, unseen but utterly essential, the silent pulse driving the life of the water onward. As the sun's path shifts and the world tilts on its axis, the river answers with rhythms as ancient as time itself. Its waters swell and recede in a slow, powerful dance, each season shaping the fates of all who dwell within its embrace. With the arrival of the rains, the river bursts its banks, spilling over into the waiting forest. Water seeps into every hollow, flooding the roots of towering trees, transforming the land into a watery labyrinth. Fish surge into the new shallows, weaving among submerged branches and blooming lilies. Here, in these temporary nurseries, eggs are laid and young are hatched, safe from the open current's predators. Amphibians chorus from hidden perches, their calls echoing across the flooded forest, while turtles glide through tangled roots in search of tender shoots. As the weeks pass and the rains relent, the water withdraws, leaving behind a patchwork of shrinking pools and isolated lagoons. Stranded fish gather in dense schools, their numbers thinning as herons and caimans patrol the muddy banks. Plants once submerged rise into the open air, leaves unfurling, flowers blooming, seeds released to drift on the wind or water's edge. In the dry season's grip, the river contracts to its narrowest channel. Sunlight pierces the clear shallows and aquatic grasses wave like underwater meadows. Algae bloom in the warmth, feeding swarms of tiny grazers, while catfish burrow into the mud, waiting for the rains to return. The river's banks crack and harden, but beneath the surface life persists in hidden burrows and shaded pools. Each season brings both hardship and abundance, testing every creature's resilience. Some adapt by migrating, others by changing their very shape or color. Seeds remain dormant in the mud, while eggs lie waiting, patient for the flood's return. The river's pulse is a promise of renewal, of transformation, of life cycling endlessly from one form to the next. In these shifting waters, every plant, every animal, every microbe is bound to the turning of the seasons, a symphony of change echoing beneath the surface, guiding the river's story onward. Long before the first green leaf unfurled or a single fin sliced through the current, the river was a restless sculptor, carving its legacy into the land. Millennia ago, tectonic plates shifted deep below the surface, heaving ancient bedrock and birthing the valley that would cradle the river's winding path. The landscape trembled and split, creating vast basins and gentle slopes, each destined to channel the flow of water in intricate patterns. As eons passed, relentless rains and the patient work of erosion wore away mountainsides, feeding the river with silt, sand, and minerals. These sediments settled in layers, building fertile floodplains and mysterious underwater ridges. In the wet season, torrents of water carried boulders and trees downstream, reshaping banks and opening new channels. In the dry months, exposed stones and gravel bars became islands, their shifting outlines redrawn with every passing year. Beneath the surface, the river's current hollowed out deep pools and carved winding tunnels through soft earth and ancient clay. Hidden caves became sanctuaries for fish and amphibians, while submerged logs and tangled roots offered shelter from hungry jaws. The river's bends and oxbows, formed by centuries of slow migration, created quiet backwaters, havens for plants to root, and nurseries for young life to thrive. Minerals dissolved in the water nourished lush mats of algae and sparked the growth of aquatic plants, laying the foundation for complex food webs. Over time, the river's ever-changing course isolated lagoons and cut off meanders, creating unique habitats teeming with specialized creatures. Some adapted to dark, oxygen-poor waters, while others flourished in sunlit shallows. Every sandbar, every submerged stone, every winding channel is a testament to the river's ancient work, a living record of its geological past. The ecosystem that thrives here today is shaped by these forces, its diversity and abundance born from the river's restless artistry. Even now the river continues its slow, ceaseless transformation, an unseen hand moulding the world beneath the water's surface, ensuring that life persists and evolves with each passing age. Beneath the shimmering surface, the river is not just a stage for survival. It's a tapestry woven with intricate alliances. Here, every creature, from the tiniest shrimp to the largest armored catfish, plays a role in a living network of mutual benefit and delicate balance. Schools of tetras glide through the shallows, their quick movements stirring up clouds of detritus. Tiny Corydoras catfish seize this moment, sifting through the debris for morsels missed by their neighbours. A silent cooperation that keeps the riverbed clean and nourished. In the shadowy undergrowth, freshwater sponges cling to submerged roots, filtering the water and providing microhabitats for insect larvae and tiny crustaceans. These in turn become a feast for nimble river dolphins and stealthy knifefish patrolling the depths. Floating just beneath the lily pads, armored turtles bask alongside bright-eyed frogs. Both benefit from the insects attracted by blooming aquatic flowers, while their presence deters would-be predators from venturing too close to vulnerable eggs. Further below, the roots of water hyacinths intertwine with mussels and snails, their combined efforts stabilizing the riverbank and purifying the water column. Even the mighty Arapaima, apex predator of these waters, unwittingly supports life by leaving scraps from its meals for scavenging piranhas and opportunistic birds. As night falls, bioluminescent plankton pulse in response to the movements of passing fish, signaling their presence to symbiotic algae, which in turn provide vital nutrients. This is the river's secret, a world where survival depends not on domination, but on connection. Every ripple, every shadow, every shared breath beneath the current is part of a vast, unseen web, one that binds the fate of all who dwell within these ancient waters. From above, the river winds through the landscape like a living artery, but its influence stretches far beyond its banks. Each dawn, as warm sunlight kisses the cool surface, invisible vapours begin their silent ascent. Mists swirl above the water, carrying moisture into the air, a daily exhalation that seeds the sky with clouds. As the sun climbs higher, these clouds gather, drawn by the river's persistent breath. Rainfall returns in gentle sheets or thunderous downpours, nourishing the lush greenery that flanks the river's edges. This cycle, ancient and unbroken, is the river's pact with the sky, exchanging water for life drop by drop. Beneath the water's reflective skin, countless aquatic plants release oxygen, cooling the air and shaping local breezes. The dense canopy above the river absorbs heat, its leafy arms shading the currents and moderating the temperature of the land around it. Even the slow, rhythmic pulses of the river's flow help to stabilize humidity, creating a microclimate that shelters the creatures below. Season after season, the river's presence tempers extremes, dampening droughts, softening floods, and weaving a protective veil over the ecosystem. Its steady breathing patterns ripple outward, touching forests, fields, and distant hills, silently orchestrating the dance of weather and climate. In the hush between storms, the river holds the memory of rainfall and the promise of renewal. Its currents carry not just life, but the very rhythms that shape the world above, a silent architect of seasons, forever sculpting the fate of the land it caresses. As the first pale light of dawn stretches across the river, a quiet transformation unfolds. Shadows melt away, revealing dew-laced leaves and the shimmering backs of dragonflies poised on reeds. Mist clings to the water's surface, swirling in delicate ribbons as the river stirs beneath. From the tangled roots along the banks, tiny frogs emerge, their throaty calls weaving into the morning air. Schools of minnows dart through shafts of golden light, scattering as a heron's silhouette glides overhead, its wings silent, its gaze intent. In the branches above, flocks of parrots explode in bursts of colour and sound, their feathers flashing against the soft blush of sunrise. Water lilies unfurl petal by petal, their colours mirrored in the glassy surface below. Along the muddy shallows, turtles blink awake, slipping quietly into the slow-moving current. In the shadows, otters tumble and play, their laughter echoing with the promise of a new day. Even the unseen stirs beneath river stones. Caddisfly larvae begin their busy work, and among submerged roots, catfish patrol their secret realms. Algae bloom in the strengthening light, feeding a hidden world that hums just beneath the ripples. Every breath, every flutter, every ripple is a note in the river's living symphony, a chorus of life that rises with the sun. Here, in the gentle hush of dawn, the river awakens not with noise, but with the quiet persistence of life itself, renewed each morning in an endless embrace of water, light, and breath. As the sun dips toward the horizon, the river slips into a hush that is neither day nor night, a liminal hour where shadows stretch and colors deepen. The air shimmers with the last warmth of sunlight, painting the water in molten gold and violet. Along the banks, the chorus of daytime creatures softens. Dragonflies fold their wings, settling into reeds, while parrots retreat to secret roosts, their voices fading to gentle murmurs. In this fading light, a new caste emerges. Nocturnal insects rise in swirling clouds above the water, their wings catching the sun's final rays in fleeting sparks. Bats dart and wheel with silent precision, skimming the surface for their evening feast. Frogs, now emboldened, resume their rhythmic calls, a pulsing heartbeat that echoes through the thickening dusk. Beneath the rippling surface, the choreography shifts. Schools of minnows scatter to deeper pools, while catfish and electric eels glide from their daytime shelters, sweeping the riverbed with slow, deliberate movements. Turtles, sated from a day in the sun, burrow into soft mud, their shells blending seamlessly with the twilight shadows. In the shallows, a caiman's eyes glint above the waterline, patient, unblinking. Otters vanish into tangled roots, their playful energy replaced by quiet watchfulness. Overhead, herons trade places with nightjars, the latter's haunting calls weaving through the cooling air. Water lilies close their petals, folding inward as the world darkens, while algae continue their unseen work, feeding the cycle of life that never truly sleeps. The river's pulse slows yet never ceases. Every creature, every current is attuned to the shifting tides of dusk. In this hour between light and darkness, the river breathes in, gathering the secrets of day, and exhales into night, its ancient rhythms undisturbed, its mysteries deepened by the coming of nightfall. Beneath the river's surface, in shadowed alcoves and emerald depths, dwell its rarest treasures. Creatures and plants so elusive their presence is more whispered rumour than certainty. Here, in pockets untouched by the day's commotion, the river reveals its secret jewels. A flash of iridescence betrays the ghost knifefish, its slender form gliding like living silver through tangled roots. Its body undulates in seamless waves, vanishing with a shimmer into the gloom, as if woven from the very fabric of the water. Nearby, the armoured banjo catfish nestles into the sediment, its mottled shell sculpted for camouflage, blending perfectly with the river's ancient stones. High above the riverbed, a rare aquatic orchid unfurls delicate blossoms, petals translucent as dragonfly wings, tinted with blushes of violet and jade. The plant's roots anchor to submerged driftwood, drawing sustenance from the gentle current, its bloom a fleeting miracle seen by few. In deeper channels, the river stingray glides in silent arcs, its patterned back a tapestry of swirling ochre and ink. Its movements are unhurried, tracing the sandy bottom in search of hidden prey, its presence both graceful and formidable. Amidst the swaying forests of underwater ferns, the pygmy glass frog clings to a leaf, its skin nearly transparent, revealing the pulse of life within. Each breath is a marvel, a testament to adaptation shaped by centuries of flowing water and shifting silt. Clinging to the rocks, bioluminescent algae cast a faint otherworldly glow, transforming the darkness into a constellation of green-blue stars. Their light is a silent song, guiding rare river shrimp with eyes attuned to the faintest glimmer. Nocturnal butterflies, their wings dusted with moonlit silver, rest on overhanging branches, waiting for the river's midnight breeze to stir them into flight. In the stillness, the rarest lily pads, spotted with amethyst and gold, float like forgotten coins, their roots entwined with stories older than memory. These are the river's hidden wonders, creatures and plants that exist beyond the reach of ordinary sight. They are the keepers of genetic secrets, the guardians of beauty, both fragile and fierce. In their presence, the river's ancient magic endures, quiet, resilient, and forever wild. As the sun slips behind the canopy, the river awakens with a chorus only the wild can compose. The hush of flowing water becomes a living melody, each ripple and eddy a note in nature's ancient score. In the shallows, the rhythmic click of armored catfish foraging over pebbles forms a steady percussion, echoing through submerged roots. Nearby, the chorus of pygmy glass frogs rises and falls, a translucent cadence that pulses like the river's own heartbeat, signaling territory, safety, and the promise of rain. Above the surface, the gentle patter of nocturnal butterflies' wings brushing against overhanging leaves adds a whispering harmony, barely audible above the river's lullaby. The distant croak of hidden amphibians weaves through the night air, a low drone that warns of approaching predators and guides companions home. Deep within the channel, the ghostly hum of electric knifefish pulses, an invisible language of navigation and courtship felt more than heard. The soft crackle of bioluminescent algae blooming on stones creates a subtle undercurrent, their faint glow synchronizing with the river shrimp's delicate tapping as they search for sustenance in the dark. The river stingray's movement stirs the silt with a muffled swoosh, sending silent signals to those attuned to the vibrations of the sand. Above, the rustle of aquatic orchids swaying in the gentle current adds a fragile, verdant note, their leaves brushing together like wind chimes beneath the surface. Every sound, from the smallest pop of a bubble to the deep resonance of water swirling around ancient rocks, forms a complex language. It is a symphony of survival and connection, a tapestry of signals that orchestrates the river's hidden life. To listen is to understand the unseen dialogues of the current, where every creature and plant plays its part in nature's enduring masterpiece.